Yes, that's right, it's another episode of the Statue of Liberty. No, the series isn't cancelled, no, it's not gone anywhere, but it is a case of continuing the journey of trying to build a minifig scale Statue of Liberty build from Spider-Man No Way Home. You've already seen the thought process, the planning behind this, and even some of the minifigures, and today's episode is going to be a mix of all that combined into one. As we have a lot to discuss about the statue, particularly the colour, and we have some figures that have been sent to me for us to take a look at. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 4 of the Statue of Liberty project. Now, when we last left off the statue, we pretty much found out how tall it was going to be and what we needed brick-wise to create that. In the meantime, I also took a look at the shield, which I don't know if we're going to make still, but when building the shield, I used reddish-brown bricks because in Spider-Man No Way Home, the statue had been restored back to its copper color. And some of you in the comments decided to point out that reddish-brown might not be the correct color to go with on this Statue of Liberty. But unfortunately, LEGO don't really make a coppery, shiny type brick. Instead, we're going to have to figure out what kind of brick we're going to use instead. Now, when doing the plan for this Statue of Liberty, my first thought went to dark tan, to the point where I bought some dark tan just to see how it would look stacked up against reddish brown. But unfortunately, I wasted my money on these dark tan pieces, because when they were all stacked up next to reddish brown, I don't think they looked as good. And unfortunately, those are the only two colors I could really think of when it came to what color this statue should be. Obviously, there's the answer of it should be just sand green, considering the Statue of Liberty is normally sand green, but unfortunately, like I say, this is the copper version and not the patinaed copper version. So for the few of you that were saying it should be sand green, it's just not an accurate color to the film. So I have a decision to make. Do I make it dark tan, or do I keep the reddish brown color that I thought I should go with on the shield for the rest of the statue? Well, let's just say I've been buying bricks over the time that we haven't had episodes. And although it may not look like a lot, just these 1x1s, there's like 700 in here. So yeah, there's a lot of bricks that I've been buying. Now, this isn't all the bricks I need to complete the Statue of Liberty. In fact, we need about another 7,000, I believe. But trust me, I'm buying these pieces and more episodes will come when I have these pieces. But more on that in a bit. For now, I want to talk about some minifigures that I've been sent that I want to include on this project. Now, as you guys know, last time we did an episode on the Statue of Liberty, we took a look at some minifigures. Now, a bunch of people have obviously critiqued my minifigures and offered me some suggestions, considering they were all pretty much V1 versions of the figures, which means they were totally up for rework, and I appreciate all of the comments that everybody left me on how I can improve some of these figures. But I want to start by taking a look at...
Now you got it. Okay, Peter 1, Peter 2,
Peter 2,
Peter 3.
Peter 3.
Now, this is the first Spider-Man I'm taking a look at, and it's Andrew Garfield's version. And obviously, with his official LEGO minifigure being so high in price, it was obvious that I was going to go with a custom. And I'm super excited to show off this one by TommyCBricks, who graciously sent me this one to take a look at on the channel. Now, although they did send me this product for free, all opinions are my own. They're not paying me to say any of this stuff. And that's the same with other minifigures that are coming up later on down the line as well. But I must say, out of all the customs I've bought, this has to be one of the best opening experiences I've ever had, considering I got this really nice black box in the mail with the nice TommyCBricks logo on the top, only to take it off and find a really nice foam insert with the figure snugly nestled inside. You also get this card which shows you which production model you got. I got number 3 out of 111, and anybody following me on Instagram would know that I've had this figure for a few weeks now, and this figure is frankly amazing, to pardon the pun. This figure is pad printed, so it's the same techniques that LEGO would normally use to print their minifigures. This figure has 360 printing, although something not LEGO would do, it's still appreciated on this figure. 360 printing also means that side leg printing and arm printing are obviously included on this figure. And if that wasn't enough, this figure also comes with a custom hairpiece, really trying to replicate that look that Andrew Garfield had in the second Spider-Man movie. And that is important to say, this suit is based on the TASM 2 suit, meaning if we take a look at him with the mask on here, he has the giant white eyes rather than the gold eyes that the TASM 1 suit had. A look which I frankly really liked. The TASM 1 suit is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man suits. But this figure is definitely one of the best TASM 2 suits that I've seen going around right now, and I think I'll definitely be including it on the Statue of Liberty, at least for now. But I think for now, I think I might change that face print and the hairpiece just so it fits in better with other minifigures. But I 100% think that you guys should go and check out TommyCBricks over on Instagram. I'll leave their link in the description below, and I think they have a few more things coming my way that could be potentially included on this project. Make sure you go spam that Instagram post that I sent you. For now, let's move on and take a look at...
What is this place?
The mirror dimension. where I'm in control.
Now, last time we took a look at Doctor Strange, and I said that he was pretty much perfect, except I wanted to find some printed arms for him, and I talked about the Sailor's arms because it has this nice bronze bracelet and it's a good way of getting some purist printed arms. However, as soon as I released that video, Firestar Toys released an upgrade arm pack for him based on Multiverse of Madness, but it works for this figure too. Now, these are UV printed arms, so they won't look as good as your standard Lego print, but they do look amazing on this Doctor Strange figure, and just gives that little bit of extra detail I wanted on him to make him the perfect figure. I love little packs like this. It enhances what Lego has done without making it look too much like a custom. It just makes me wish we had more arm printing and leg printing on Marvel figures so they could look like this. But hey, I guess the Sanctum's being revealed tomorrow. I'm actually live streaming the event. The notification should be live now, so make sure you go and hit notify so you can watch LegoCon with me, TommyCBricks, and Plastic Jack. I've been avoiding some of the pictures going around because I want it to be a surprise for me, so hopefully we'll see some arm and leg printing on those figures in that set, as I hear it's an Infinity War plus Multiverse of Madness set. But moving on, I also want to take a look at...
I underestimated you. But now you die.
Now, first things first, I want to discuss the arms. A lot of people suggested different types of arms based on the arms that you guys saw last episode, but I ended up going with these ones, which are a completely different set of arms, mainly because I think they look the best. I'm using the same minifig stand piece that we used last video and also the Doc Ock arms that came in the Daily Bugle. Instead, this time I'm now using dark bluish grey studs with holes in them in between each minifig stand for strength. This adds that little bit of colour in there that I wanted, but it's also a dark colour, which I believe works very well with this minifigure, again being from Firestar Toys. This is what I want the Doc Ock figure to look like if Lego was to ever make this. It encapsulates everything I asked for last episode when it comes to the Doc Ock figure. A dark green coat, the reddish brown version of the Harry Potter hair, and although this is a UV print, so again it doesn't look as good as what normal Lego printing looks like, I think this still looks good enough to go in the Statue of Liberty project. I know a few other companies have also made custom Doc Ocks, but if I'm honest, I think I like this one more, as this one actually looks like what Lego would make. And I think that's what I like about customs, and they tend to be the ones that I'm into a lot more, is when they look like something that Lego would also make, and they blend very well with regular minifigures. I've only just really got into customs, but the more and more I buy that look like this, the longer I think I'm going to be buying custom figures. And those are the only updates I have on figures for now, but that does lead me into what I want to do with the future of this series, considering people have got very concerned that it's cancelled. At the beginning of the year when I decided to take on this project, I definitely thought it was going to be easier to do than it currently is. But if I'm honest, we're too far in now to turn back anyway, so this project is definitely going to happen. But the thing about Lego YouTube is that you constantly need Lego to look at, and Lego costs money. I pay for everything I review on this channel and everything I make on this channel, and I want to make sure that I have content for you guys to watch that isn't necessarily the Statue of Liberty project every week. Another thing is as well, I want to make sure that this is in an episodic format, actually giving you guys substantial content, and if there's not substantial content, then there won't be an episode. Even this episode I felt could have been a bit better with a bit more time to buy some more bricks and maybe even have something built. But I know you guys are dying for an episode, so I just decided to make another minifig episode with a bit more information on the Statue of Liberty, but again, there's nothing built yet. This series was always meant to be a big series, but I didn't necessarily think it was going to last this long. But with all the cool stuff that Lego has been releasing this year, I want to get that stuff out to you guys too. So what I've decided to do with this series, so you guys can stop asking me when the next episode is going to be, is that I've decided to do at least one Statue of Liberty project episode a month. I will hopefully have some more updated content in those episodes, as instead of building the full Statue of Liberty in one go like I was planning to do, I'm going to now split the statue into multiple buildable sections, to hopefully get you guys some more content on this series, rather than just explaining what I'm going to do every week. Because of this, I'm also extending the deadline of this model being complete to the end of the year, meaning everybody who's asking me what convention this is going to be going to when we can display it and show it off, means I'll update everybody on that next year. This way we can try and get the statue finished for the 1-year anniversary of No Way Home, as well as not limit the fact that we have other stuff to do in the meantime, and still get constant episodes of the Statue of Liberty project where it actually feels that we've done something substantial out. But to counter the fact that these are going to be less frequent, I'm starting a new Marvel series that's a bit easier to get things built and out to show you guys all in one collective episode, and then these episodes can be the nice big grand finale episodes at the end of every month. I think this format will work much better. It also means that I'm going to retire the shirts at the end of this week. Just as I'm extending this project, I want to make sure it's me paying for all of this stuff now, and you guys who have put money towards it already know that you've already put the money into the bricks that I've already got for this project, and then I can put my own money into more of the figures and more of the bricks that we need to complete things like the skirt, the body, and go from there. I know this is kind of a downer on the end of the episode, but I think it needed to be said because everybody keeps asking me when the next part is, and the truth is I want to make sure that I have a decent amount of content to show you, otherwise it's not going to be a substantially good series. Good things come to those who wait, and I feel like this is a much better structure for what we should go forward with in the future. If you guys want to ask me questions about this sort of stuff, I have a live streaming channel. It's called Tommy C Live. Come and ask me all the questions you want over on there. I stream once a week, Fridays or Saturday, about 6 or 7 PM UK time. I'll put the channel on screen now. You guys can check that out, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next episode of the Statue of Liberty project.